then I came to America in 2018 to play college. I've played my whole life, I can say, against teams like Real Madrid or Atletico de Madrid because I'm from Spain.
We're joined by Luis Cito, so he is from Madrid, Spain.
Go somewhere where you think you can play. Like, don't try to go to a D1 just because, okay, it's a D1. And
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Select Generation podcast. So today is a very special episode. Number one, because I've got a new hat, some new gears come in for Select Generation. So you'll be seeing that over the next few podcasts and at some tournaments. We got some exciting tournaments coming up, but today we're joined by Luis Cito, so he is from Madrid, Spain, and currently actually in the same apartment complex as me. We are living together in Napa in California. If you don't know where that is, it's about an hour north of San Francisco, but enough from me. So, Luis, I'll let you introduce yourself and explain sort of a little bit about your background and story to the viewers.
okay, how are you guys? Yeah, as Sam said, my name's Luis. I'm from Madrid, Spain. I'm 24 years old. I play as a midfielder. And then I came to America in 2018 to play college. And then yeah, I stay a couple summers to play USL, USL two, and that's when I met Sam. And now we are here together, living in and playing in California.
Nice, awesome, good. So, Luis, tell us a little bit about when you first sort of started growing up. Obviously, you're playing in Spain, so playing and growing up in Spain, like what was that like in terms of the level? What level did you play at, and then why did you decide to come to the US?
Well, in Spain and I'll say in Europe, we take soccer, or how we call it there, football, really, really seriously. It's the main sport there, so it was really, really nice for me. Like training 3 or 4 times a week. Uh, the coaches, they ask a lot for you. They demand a lot from you since you are young. So you play at a really nice level. And I was lucky that I've always played like a high level in Spain. I've played my whole life, I can say, against teams like Real Madrid or Atletico de Madrid because I'm from Spain. So I was playing against those teams, which gave me a lot of good experience, and I learned a lot from them. And then my best year, I'll say, was my last year when I was 18 years old. I played the best league under 18 from Spain. So I play against teams like Rayo Vallecano, Madrid, Atletico, Getafe, Valladolid, and that was a really tough league. And I think that's one of the best years that I have talking about soccer experience.
And then what made you decide to come to the US?
Well, it was actually a little bit random. So, I didn't know anything about the US, but I had a coach that year that I just mentioned, like my last year playing over there. And they told me like that there was a showcase, and they told me, why you don't go and then you just try and then see what happens. So, yeah, just decided to go to the showcase, but not with the idea of coming to America. But it went really well. Played there a couple of days, and then the coach of the college that I ended up going, which is Barton College, was there. He saw me playing. He offered me a really nice scholarship, so I was like, okay, why not? And I decided to come to America. One thing that I feel that we have in Europe is when you're 18, you have to kind of decide, well, okay, do I want to try and go play pro, or do I want to keep studying, which I think is a really tough decision to make, especially when you're 18 years old. So at that point, my family were like, look, in the US, you can study and you can still play soccer at a decent level. Why you don't take that decision and take that option? So I ended up coming to the United States for that option as well, keep studying.
Yeah, right. And then how? So you said you found Barton at the showcase, but after the showcase, did you have a lot of offers? Did you make a highlight video and send it to coaches? Was anyone helping you? Like how did you make a name for yourself in terms of getting offers and getting exposure?
I don't think I did the right thing, or at least I didn't know everything because I didn't have a highlight video at that time. In Spain, we don't record the games, so I didn't have a highlight video. And then I can say maybe the agency didn't help me that much. So basically, I just went to the showcase. 3, 4 coaches came to watch us, and then I got offer from two colleges, my college, and there was the other one was like a NAIA, I think. But I just took the first one that came. So I came. I was lucky because it went good, but like I really didn't know where I was going to, if I'm honest.
What would you change if you were to do the whole process again at the age of 17, 18, coming to America?
I will give a lot of importance to the agency that I sign with. I will make sure that they explain me where I'm going, why I'm going there, the place that I'm going, and I will really trust them. I will make sure that they also care about me. I feel that there's a lot of agencies that they just want to send people because of money. Um, and I don't know if that's what happened to me. As I say, I was lucky, but you can end up going to a place that maybe you don't enjoy, or they just send you because it's gonna be beneficial for them. So yeah, I would definitely spend more time talking with the guys from the agency, listening from their advice because they have gone through this, and yeah, having and spending more time with the agency for sure, trusting them.
Yeah, right. No, I think that's good advice. I think there's a lot of people that are obviously involved in like the soccer agency world, and yeah, sometimes it's they have like 200-300 players and they're just trying to get everyone off to any different school. So I think for me, the biggest advice I would give to someone 17, 18 is like research where you're going, because I had no idea too where I was going. I mean, obviously I knew the school and talked to the coach and looked on Google Maps at the campus, but I really would have, studied like Division 1, 2, and 3, because I had no idea there was any differences. So yeah, I think that's good advice. But for you coming, so like your first couple of weeks in the US, like how was how was the first couple of weeks in the US, like coming to Barton, arriving from Spain, the language, your new teammates, your new friends, like how was that?
Well, it was it was a weird experience, honestly. I mean, of course, the language was a barrier at that time. My English wasn't good at all, so it was difficult for me to communicate. And I came like a week before because you are new, so you want to arrive early and stuff. So, and I was living with a guy from England. He had like a strong accent, so I couldn't understand him, and he couldn't understand me. So it was difficult until the some of the Spanish guys arrived, because I had like 3, 4 Spanish guys that helped me a lot to get used to the college. But no, it was definitely good. At the end when you go college, like you live all the time there, so it's like a little town, and you eat there, you train there, you are with your friends there, you study there, so you basically do everything there. So for me, coming from a little town in Madrid, it was really nice to see that, and to experience that.
Yeah, right. And how would you describe your 4 years at Barton? What did you like? What didn't you like? Is there anything you regret? Is there anything you would have changed?
Well, looking it from now, maybe I would have tried to go to a different school, maybe a bigger school, knowing now, but I don't regret anything. Like I had a good experience playing there. Maybe I would like to have the knowledge that I have now before coming to America. As I said, like if the agency will have spoke with me and tell me everything, because I cannot like learn everything when I was in college. So it was too late. Like same for the transfer and stuff. Like I tried to transfer and it was too late. So I ended up staying 4 years at Barton and graduating from there. Where I mean, I had a good time at Barton, but like, yeah, I wish I knew more things before coming. Honestly.
Yeah, and then obviously you did end up transferring for your graduate year to Lionel Ryan. Had a really good season there at D2 level. So how would you describe the differences in Division 2? Because obviously Division 1, there's a lot of really good schools that are fully funded. Division 2, there's a lot of schools that are fully funded, but a lot of schools that struggle. So how would you describe the difference in level from Barton, like a good Division 2 school, from LR, like a really, really good Division 2 school that's fully funded?
Yeah, there was a big difference. So as you say, yeah, after COVID, I got an extra year, and then I went to LR to do my masters. And yeah, I could tell that there was big difference between the two colleges. So I think the difference was age. People at Barton were like normal freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, like kind of following the normal graduation age. So 18, 19, 20, 21 year old players. Few European players or few international players. Let's say maybe you had like 4 or 5 per team. And then when I went to LR, we were like 12, 13 Spanish players. Uh, I was 23 and I was one of the youngest in the starting 11. So my teammates, they were 24, 25. We had a striker that was 29 years old. So, I mean, of course, there's going to be a lot of difference, like if you compare yourself when you are 18 years old and then when you are 24, you're way more mature, way stronger. You've played many, many more games. So, of course, you know more about the game. So I would say that, yeah, age difference and then more internationals for sure.
Yeah. And then going to LR, you obviously had a bigger squad. You had about 40 players on the roster. So for an American player who's trying to go to a Division 2 school where there is 12 internationals, 13 internationals, what advice would you give to an American player?
Well, it comes to what we spoke. First off, speak with the agency. If you are with an agency, if you're doing it for yourself, I say be honest with you. Don't try to go somewhere because of the name. If you think you are not gonna play, for me, the most important thing since I've played soccer is trying to play and be important in the team. So I'd rather pick a college where I think I can get some minutes and improve, than just going to a college because it's a good D2, a good D1, or okay, we're gonna win the conference, and I might get a ring, but you're not gonna be playing. You're gonna be in the JV. For me, that doesn't make sense. Start somewhere where you can play, prove yourself, and then from there you can have time to transfer to a better level if you are good enough.
Yeah. No, I think that's really good advice. I mean, there's a lot of schools with a lot of players on the roster, and for me, I'm like you. I want to play. I'd rather be mid-table and play every minute than not play a minute but get a ring. Like that's just how I am. But what about you said there in the beginning you played USL 2 in the summer. When you're playing USL 2 in the conference that we played in, you're playing with players from Duke, UNC, Wake Forest, Clemson, right? All these big ACC schools, and Division 1 schools from across the country. How would you say the differences between Division 1, Division 2, and some Division 3 players that you played with?
Poof, I think there's a lot of differences. Honestly, I will say first mentality for sure. I feel those D1 players that are playing in a nice school, they really know that they want to go pro, and the mentality that they have and how they come to train is quite different. The intensity and, yeah, taking seriously the sport. I feel that. I mean, you've played D2 same as me, and you've also played D1, and I feel that sometimes in D2 when you go to practice, there's some players that want to be there, but there's other players that I feel that they don't want to be there. And I feel that the D1s, they just wanna, all of them wanna be there, all of them wanna improve, all of them wanna go pro, and that's the only goal that they have in mind. So I think it's, yeah, the commitment that they have, and, yeah, just motivation, intensity, all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that comment. And then from the because there's this big thing with American players, like I have to go Division 1 or I don't want to play college. What would you say to those players?
Well, I mean, I've said that the D1 players, they kind be more commit, or they can come with more intensity, but at the same time, D2 is not like a poor level. Like for me, it doesn't matter if you can play D1 or D2 or D3. Sorry, of course, if you can play D1 in a nice school, go and play D1. But like it doesn't mean anything if you go to a D2. Like you are not gonna be a worse player just if you go to a D2. So it comes to the point that I said before. Sorry. So go somewhere where you think you can play. Like don't try to go to a D1 just because, okay, it's a D1 and people are gonna think I'm super good. No, go somewhere where you're gonna be important. You're gonna play. You're gonna have minutes. Because if you don't play, you're not gonna get better. Even if you go to Duke or if you go to UCLA or even if you go to Stanford, okay. But if you are in the bench or if you're in the JV team, like you are not gonna improve. So go somewhere where you're gonna enjoy, because you have to also enjoy college life. So, yeah, just go somewhere where you think you're gonna play.
Yeah,
That'll be my advice.
I agree with that. And then in the classroom, So you obviously studied like business. Why did you choose that, and how was business as a major for you? And balancing the classes.
Well, I ended up choosing business because I think that was the major that was gonna open more doors for me and give me more options in the future to work. Also because I'm interested in business and I like that. And then it was at the beginning it was a little bit challenging to study in English and play soccer and stuff, going to practice. But then I think the system here in the US is really well organized. They help you with everything, so I didn't have any issue, honestly.
Yeah. And then just advice for a player who is thinking, well, I didn't ask you this yet, but what do you think the differences are in soccer in Europe versus soccer in the US?
Soccer in Europe for me is more technical, keeping the ball, be more smart with the ball, knowing when you have to do a movement, when you have to run, and when you don't have to run. I feel that in America it's more physical. So if I have to do a summary fast, it will be Europe more technical, America more physical. But then there's a lot of people that think that the level here in America is not good enough. I remember when I came, a lot of people told me, "Oh yeah, you're going to America, like it's gonna be super easy." And actually, the level is really good. There's a lot of good players. They're developing really nice players with the academies, and I feel that in a few years they're gonna be super good. They're gonna have really good teams. But yeah, like here, what they maybe don't know right now about being technical and taking better decisions with the ball, they compensate it with physically. Like they're animals. They run a lot. They cover a lot of space. Uh, so yeah, I mean, of course, there's difference, but in terms of level, I think it's different, But in both, like in Europe and in America, there's good level, both
Yeah.
both ways. Yeah.
And what advice would you give for an American player who's interested in going to Europe to play?
Well, I will tell him to watch football or watch soccer if they don't. I think you learn a lot from watching soccer. Every time you go to train, like set some goals for you. Don't just go to train like just to spend time, and then try to improve. Try to improve every day. Listen to your coach. Try to learn from everybody, but just set goals. And yeah, that's it. I'll say
Yeah.
those things.
And then for a player who's going into his freshman year, like getting ready, just graduated high school, it's the summer, getting ready for your freshman year, what advice would you give to that player?
I will tell them to prepare as much as they can, especially for the fitness test. I think those are really important for the coaches. And if you do well on those tests, you are kind of like ahead from the others because the coaches they give a lot of importance to those tests. So if you don't do well, like they kind of separate you from the group. And then yeah, just go with confidence. Play as you play. Don't try to do too much. Just play as you used to play in high school and don't try to show too much. That's it. Try to be friendly. Try to talk with others. Try to talk with the captains. To get used to and to get into the team. And yeah, that's it. Just be you.
Good. Some good advice. Good. Luis, well, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Um, and let's figure out what we're going to have for dinner.
Thank you, Sam.
Perfect. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.